What if the world's most legendary supercar was born from a tractor maker's fury? This is the story of how a single humiliating insult from Enzo Ferrari sparked the creation of Lamborghini. To hear more powerful stories that will improve your English naturally, subscribe now and turn on all notifications so you never miss a lesson. Now let's begin this incredible journey. Our story begins before the name Lamborghini was famous for anything but tractors. It starts with a man. His name was Ferruccio Lamborghini. Ferruccio was born on April 28, 1916, in a small town in Italy called Cento. He was not born into a rich or powerful family. His parents were farmers. They worked very hard every day, from sunrise to sunset, growing crops and taking care of their land. As a child, Ferruccio was a little different from the other kids in his village. While most children loved to run and play games in the fields, Ferruccio was deeply curious about machines. He loved the sounds and the smells of his father's workshop. He loved to watch his father working with the tractors and all the other farming tools. He always wanted to know, how does that work? What makes it move? One day, when he was just a little boy, he saw his father struggling with a tractor that had broken down. His father looked tired and frustrated. Instead of running away to play, little Ferruccio sat down on the grass and just watched. He looked closely at the big machine, at all its metal parts. He thought to himself, how can I fix this? There must be a way. By the time he was a teenager, he had developed a deep and true love for engineering and mechanics. He knew in his heart that he did not want to be a farmer like his parents. It was a good life, an honest life, but it was not his life. He wanted to build machines. He dreamed of building machines that could change the world. But life was not going to be easy for him. World War II started, and like many young men, Ferruccio had to join the Italian Air Force. He became a mechanic. This was a very difficult and dangerous time, of course, but it also taught him valuable lessons. He learned so much about engines, about machines, and about how to solve problems quickly and creatively. During the war, Ferruccio showed that he had a special talent. When other mechanics fixed machines, slowly taking their time, he was fast and incredibly efficient. His bosses noticed his skills. He soon became known as one of the very best mechanics in the military. But then the war ended. Italy was in ruins. Factories were destroyed, businesses were closed, and millions of people had no jobs. Ferruccio returned home with no money, no company, and it seemed no opportunities. It was a time of great sadness and uncertainty for everyone. But Ferruccio was not the kind of person to give up. Instead of feeling defeated, he made a decision. He looked around, and he saw what Italy needed. He would start his own company. At that time, Italy was an agricultural country. Most people were farmers, and they all needed tractors to plow their fields. But there was a big problem. New tractors were very expensive, and they were very hard to find after the war. Ferruccio saw an opportunity here. He didn't have a big factory or a lot of money, but he had a brilliant idea. Instead of trying to make brand new tractors from scratch, he decided to find old military vehicles left over from the war. He would take them apart, piece by piece, and use their strong parts to build new tractors. This idea was genius. It meant he didn't need to spend too much money on materials. The tractors he built were strong. They were reliable, and most importantly, they were affordable for the farmers who needed them most. He could use all of his skills as a mechanic to build better machines for a lower price. So in 1948, Ferruccio started his own company, Lamborghini Trattori. It began in a small factory in Italy. There, he and a small team of workers built tractors using parts from old military vehicles. And guess what? It was a huge success. Farmers all over Italy loved Lamborghini's tractors. They were powerful, they were durable, and they were much cheaper than other brands. His business started growing very, very quickly. Within just a few years, he became one of the biggest tractor manufacturers in all of Italy. From a small-town mechanic with nothing, Ferruccio Lamborghini had become a rich and successful businessman. But he wasn't satisfied. He always wanted more. As his company grew, so did his personal wealth. Ferruccio had always loved cars, and now that he was rich, he could finally buy the best cars in the world. He owned many expensive and beautiful cars, but his absolute favorite was his Ferrari 250 GT. At that time, Ferrari was the most famous and respected car brand in Italy. To own a Ferrari was a symbol of success. It meant you had arrived. Ferruccio loved his Ferrari. He loved the way it looked and the way it sounded. But there was one big problem. It had issues. The car was fast and beautiful. Yes, but it wasn't perfect. The clutch, a very important part of the car, kept breaking. He had to send it back to the Ferrari factory for repairs again and again and again. It was very frustrating. Now remember, Ferruccio was an expert in mechanics. He understood engines better than almost anyone. One day, after another broken clutch, he decided to open up the Ferrari himself and check the clutch with his own hands. What he discovered shocked him. The clutch inside his very expensive Ferrari was the exact same type of clutch that he used in his Lamborghini tractors. This made him angry. Ferruccio was paying a huge amount of money for a luxury sports car, but Ferrari was using cheap parts, the same parts he put in his farming machines. But instead of just staying angry, he had an idea. He thought, what if I could fix this? What if I could make it better? Ferruccio Lamborghini was a man who never accepted low quality. He believed in perfection. So he decided to go straight to the man who built Ferrari, the legendary Enzo Ferrari himself. One day, Ferruccio Lamborghini walked into Enzo Ferrari's office. He sat down, and with respect, he told Enzo Ferrari, "Your cars are good, very good, but they have some problems. The clutch is weak, and I think I can help you fix it. I have some ideas that could improve your cars." Enzo Ferrari listened. He looked at Ferruccio, this tractor maker, sitting in his office, telling him how to build his cars. Then Enzo Ferrari laughed. And then he said the words that would change history forever. He said, "A tractor maker like you should never try to tell me how to make sports cars. Go back and stick to your tractors." Ferruccio felt humiliated. Enzo Ferrari had insulted him, calling him a simple tractor maker, as if he was not good enough to even understand luxury cars. In that moment, sitting in that office, feeling that anger and disrespect, Ferruccio Lamborghini made a decision that would change the world forever. He stood up, walked out of Ferrari's office without another word, and said to himself, "I will build my own car, and it will be better than a Ferrari." Most people, after being insulted like that, would feel defeated. They might feel sad or small. They would probably give up. But Ferruccio was different. He used that feeling. He turned his anger into motivation. He made a promise to himself. He would not just build a car. He would build a car that would be better than any Ferrari. But there was a very big problem. Ferruccio had never built a sports car before. He was an expert in tractors and their engines, but building a luxury supercar was a completely different world. He didn't have a factory for cars. He didn't have a team of sports car engineers. And he didn't have any designs. Most people would have stopped right there. It seemed impossible. But not Ferruccio. He had something more important than experience. He had determination. He started studying everything he could about sports cars. He read books, he looked at designs, he learned about what made them fast and what made them beautiful. He hired the very best engineers in Italy, convincing them to join his new ambitious project. He built a brand new modern factory in a place called Sant'Agata Bolognese, a place that would later become a legend in the car industry. And most importantly, he used his own deep knowledge of mechanics to design a car that was not only powerful, but also smooth and easy to drive. Ferruccio and his new team worked day and night. The factory was always filled with light and sound. After many months of hard work testing and new ideas, they created their very first car, the Lamborghini 350 GT. It was beautiful. It was powerful. It was fast. But most importantly, it was different from a Ferrari. Ferruccio knew that Ferrari cars had one big problem. They were very difficult to drive. Ferraris were built like racing cars, and they needed very skilled drivers to control them. They were incredibly fast, but also uncomfortable for normal people on normal roads. Ferruccio wanted to create a car that was just as fast as a Ferrari, but was also comfortable, smooth, and luxurious. A car you could enjoy driving every day. When Lamborghini revealed the 350 GT to the world, people were shocked. Nobody expected a tractor maker to build something so incredible, so elegant. In 1964, the Lamborghini 350 GT cost around $1,500 or $600, which is about $150,000 or $160,000 in today's money. And people loved the car. It had a powerful V12 engine, it was wonderfully smooth to drive, and it proved that Ferruccio Lamborghini was not just a tractor maker. He was a genius. But this was only the beginning. The 350G was a success, yes, but Ferruccio was not satisfied. He wanted more. He wanted to truly challenge Ferrari. So he started working on a new car, something that would be even more powerful, even more beautiful, and even more legendary. That car would be the Lamborghini Miura. In the 1960s, Ferrari was the king of supercars. They dominated the world of racing and the world of luxury sports cars. They had a very strong reputation. Ferruccio knew that if he wanted to beat Ferrari, he had to do something completely revolutionary. So in 1966, Lamborghini introduced the Miura, a car that would change the world of sports cars forever. The Miura was different from any car that had ever been made before. It had a mid-engine design. This meant the engine was in the middle of the car behind the driver instead of at the front. This simple change made the car faster, more stable, and gave it better balance. It had a huge 4.0-liter V12 engine that could go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 6.7 seconds. It was one of the fastest cars of its time. And its design? It had a beautiful flowing shape that made people stop and just stare. The Miura was a masterpiece of art and engineering. When Lamborghini revealed it at the famous Geneva Auto Show, people went crazy. This was not just another car. This was a statement. It was proof that Lamborghini was not just a little company trying to compete. It was proof that Lamborghini could be better than Ferrari. Enzo Ferrari was furious. He had insulted Ferruccio thinking he was just a simple farmer. But now, this farmer had built something truly incredible. People were starting to whisper and then say out loud that Lamborghini was now the best. Enzo Ferrari did not like competition. He was used to being number one. So he started to criticize Lamborghini in public. He said things like, "Lamborghini is just a trend, it won't last. Their cars are too fancy. Real drivers buy Ferraris." But inside, Enzo Ferrari was scared. Because deep down, he knew that Ferruccio had built something truly amazing. From that moment on, the Lamborghini versus Ferrari rivalry became legendary. Lamborghini continued to innovate, creating more powerful and more beautiful cars. Ferrari fought back, improving their own technology and speed. But in many ways, Ferruccio Lamborghini had already won the most important battle. He had proven Enzo Ferrari wrong. The world now knew that Lamborghini was not just a tractor company. It was a supercar empire. Ferruccio Lamborghini had done the impossible. He had challenged the king, he had proven himself to the entire world, and he had created a brand that would become a true legend. But the war between Lamborghini and Ferrari was far from over, because now Lamborghini had a new challenge staying on top. Ferruccio was not a man who celebrated too early. He knew that success is not just about reaching the top of the mountain. It's about staying there. So he continued to push harder, to work smarter, and to innovate faster. The incredible success of the Miura made Lamborghini famous all over the world. People started calling Lamborghini the new king of supercars. Millionaires, celebrities, and true car lovers all wanted to own a Lamborghini. The company started making millions of dollars. In 1966, Lamborghini was selling cars faster than they ever imagined. In 1968, they introduced the Lamborghini Espada, a luxury car that could carry 4 people. This was something Ferrari did not have. Then in 1971, Lamborghini revealed the Countach, a car that looked like it came from the future. The Countach changed everything. It was fast, it was aggressive, and it was completely futuristic. It had sharp angular lines that made it look like a spaceship. It had scissor doors that opened upwards, a design that would become Lamborghini's signature style. It had a massive V12 engine, making it one of the fastest cars in the world. People had never seen a car that looked like this before. The Countach became a dream car for millions of people. This was the car that made Lamborghini a household name. This was the car that made kids put Lamborghini posters on their bedroom walls. This was the car that made people believe Lamborghini was the future. But while Lamborghini was reaching new heights of fame and success, Ferruccio was facing a new battle. It was a battle that would change his life forever. By the early 1970s, Lamborghini was making millions of dollars, but it was also facing serious financial challenges. There was a global oil crisis which made gasoline very expensive. Suddenly, people stopped buying gas-guzzling supercars. At the same time, the Italian government increased taxes on luxury cars, making them even more expensive to own. Lamborghini's factories were struggling. Ferruccio was a brilliant engineer, but he was also a practical businessman. He knew that sometimes you have to make very tough decisions. In 1974, he made the hardest decision of his life. He sold his company, Lamborghini. Yes, the man who created Lamborghini, the man whose only goal was to beat Ferrari, the man who built a supercar empire from nothing. He walked away from it all. He sold his shares in the company and retired to his vineyard where he started making wine. Many people thought that Lamborghini would die without Ferruccio. Many people thought that Ferrari had finally won the war, but they were wrong. Because Ferruccio had built something so powerful, so legendary, that it would continue to grow even without him. Even after Ferruccio left, the spirit of Lamborghini kept fighting. In the 1980s, the company introduced the Lamborghini Diablo, a car that could reach 325 kilometers per hour, one of the fastest cars ever made. In the 2000s, they created the Murcielago, a car that became a modern symbol of power and luxury. In 2011, they launched the Aventador, one of the most iconic supercars of our time. And today, Lamborghini is stronger than ever. They make billions of dollars every year. They are now owned by Volkswagen, one of the biggest car companies in the world. They continue to push the limits of speed technology and design. But one thing has never changed: Lamborghini's spirit of revenge, of innovation, and of passion. And it all started with one insult, one moment of disrespect, one laugh from Enzo Ferrari, and one man who refused to accept defeat. Today, Lamborghini is one of the most valuable car brands in the world. The company's annual revenue is over $2.5 billion. They sell thousands of cars every year, with some models priced between $200,000 and $3 million. The brand continues to be a symbol of power, success, and wealth. But what about Ferruccio Lamborghini's personal wealth? When Ferruccio retired, he focused on his vineyard business and lived a quiet, peaceful life in the Italian countryside. At the time of his death in 1993, his net worth was estimated to be around $100 million. It was a fortune built from hard work, innovation, and determination. But the true legacy of Ferruccio Lamborghini is not just about the money. His real wealth is in the lessons he left behind for the world. Today, Lamborghini is a symbol of power, success, and excellence. And as a famous saying goes, you buy a Ferrari when you want to be somebody. You buy a Lamborghini when you are somebody. This is the legacy of Ferruccio Lamborghini, a man who turned an insult into an empire. The story of Lamborghini is not just about cars. It's about life. It's about success, and it's about your mindset. If you truly understand this story, you will learn some of the most powerful lessons that can change your life forever. First, never let anyone define your limits. Ferruccio Lamborghini was told that he was just a tractor maker. Enzo Ferrari laughed at him. The world doubted him, but he refused to listen. He did not let anyone else decide what he could or could not do, and because of that, he built a legendary empire. The lesson for you is this: people will doubt you. People might even mock you. But never let their words define your potential. Second, turn your anger into motivation. Ferruccio could have stayed angry after Enzo Ferrari insulted him. He could have complained, or argued, or just given up. But instead, he used that anger as fuel. He turned his rage into results. And because of that, he created one of the most powerful car brands in history. The lesson for you: when life insults you, don't waste your time being angry. Use that energy to build something great. Third, success is the best revenge. Ferruccio never fought Ferrari with words. He didn't argue. He didn't try to prove his point with talk. He let his success, his amazing cars, do all the talking for him. And today, Lamborghini is one of the most respected brands in the world. The lesson for you is: don't waste your energy on negativity. Instead of arguing, prove yourself with your results. Fourth, believe in yourself even if no one else does. Ferruccio had no experience in building supercars. He had never built a sports car before. But he believed in himself. And because of that powerful, unshakable confidence, he did the impossible. The lesson for you: if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Your confidence is the first step to success. Fifth, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Ferruccio was tired of Ferrari's bad clutches. He didn't just complain about it. He built a better car himself. He didn't wait for someone else to fix the problem. He took control of his own destiny. The lesson for you: if something is broken in your life, don't wait for someone else to fix it. Take action. Sixth, never stop innovating. Lamborghini didn't just build cars, he built the future. He introduced new designs, more powerful engines, and revolutionary technology. That is why Lamborghini became a leader in the supercar industry. The lesson for you: success is not just about reaching the top. It's about constantly improving, innovating, and staying ahead. And finally, take risks. Without risk, there is no reward. Ferruccio took a huge risk by leaving his safe tractor business and entering the competitive supercar industry. He invested everything he had into a dream that almost no one believed in, and that risk changed history. The lesson for you is if you never take risks, you will never achieve greatness. Be brave enough to chase your dreams. This story is not just about Ferruccio Lamborghini. This story is about you. Maybe people don't believe in you. Maybe you feel insulted or rejected or underestimated. Maybe you have big dreams, but you feel like you have no support. But remember this: Lamborghini was built on an insult. Ferruccio turned pain into power. He turned rejection into motivation. He turned an insult into an empire. And so can you. Never let an insult stop you. Never let a failure break you. Never let fear control you. Because just like Ferruccio Lamborghini, you have the power inside you to create your own success story. If you found this story powerful, please share it with the world. Leave a comment below. What did you learn from Ferruccio's journey? Like this video, share it, and inspire others. Remember, your success story is just beginning. Go out and make it happen.